Coming up, a graffiti vandal in the neighbourhood. Luke and Jordan are hot on the trail.
Hooliganism on the high seas. Can Stella and Coco capture the culprit? Stolen recipes. Can China and Zoe save Dad's muffin factory?
And the mystifying case of the phantom doorbell ringer. Can clever forensic footwork help collar the culprit?
Whoa, that's a tricky case if ever I saw one.
Yep, it certainly is. But you know what, Steve? I reckon our sharp-eyed investigators are definitely up to the challenge. But first, a serious case of sabotage at China's dad's muffin factory.
My dad's muffin-making business is in big trouble. His special chocolate muffin recipe has gone missing. So Zoe and I are hunting for it. Let's try the next office. Good idea. The bin. Oh no! This is the recipe. Someone shredded it. Who could do such a thing? Dad says only 3 people have access to the shredders. There's Lisa, Dad's personal assistant, Herman, his head baker, or Manuel, his office cleaner. So they have to be our suspects. OK, let's open the case books and try and work out who did it. Dad's office has got 2 shredders. One here and one here. Only Herman has access to Shredder 1. And only Manuel and Lucy have access to Shredder 2. Come on, let's get a sample from that one first. And another sample from Shredder 1. We'll nail this recipe thief in no time.
Did you know that the world's oldest recipe book was printed more than 400 years ago? It contained 300 recipes, including how to cook bear's head. OK, this is an under the microscope job. First up, Shredder 1. A few jagged edges on the top, but mostly smooth. Now, Shredder 2. Aha! Both top and bottom edges are rough this time. Let's compare it to the Shredder recipe we found. Well, what do you know? Both edges are rough too. It matches Shredder 2 exactly. That means the recipe was shredded here, on Shredder 2. We know Herman the baker doesn't have access to that room, so he's off the suspect list. So that leaves Manuel the cleaner or Lucy the PA. We're just 2 suspects away from solving this case.
Forensic scientists solve lots of crimes by examining shredded paper. It's a bit like solving a supersized jigsaw puzzle. When investigators need a really close-up look at shredded paper, they put one tiny piece under a microscope. Then they put the matching piece alongside. They not only make sure the ink marks line up, but they can check that all the tiny filaments in the paper match up too. Hundreds of different types of paper shredders all make their own unique tears in the paper. And when the paper matches a shredding machine, detectives often catch the culprit.
That is so cunning. I never noticed before that shredded paper had different edges on them.
No, me either. It does too. And to use it like that to eliminate a suspect like China and Zoe have done, that's just top-class detective work.
Yeah, and that's what makes a good investigator. Sharp eyes and a sharp mind.
Well, I think we've got the perfect pair on the case over at the muffin factory. They're about to come up with a way to solve that case once and for all.
Zoe and I are trying to save Dad's muffin business by tracking down his chocolate muffin recipe. And we've narrowed our suspects down to Manuel the cleaner or Lucy the PA. I've got a hunch. Maybe the culprit copied the recipe before shredding it. Let's check the photocopier. Nope, nothing. Maybe they faxed it before shredding it. Let's look. Looks like a paper jam. Oh my gosh! It's a fax letterhead addressed to Dad's competitors. See if we can find out who sent it. Hang on. Check this out. The fax has a timestamp. 4:15 p.m. Hey, let's check Manuel's cleaning timetable. He always works at night. There's no way he was here at 4:15 p.m. So Manuel's in the clear, leaving Lucy, Dad's PA. She's the recipe thief.
By clever forensic analysis of the patterns on the shredded recipe, the girls identified exactly which machine was used. Then, by a process of elimination, our clever detectives worked out that Lucy faxed the stolen recipe to the competing muffin factory down the road. And she might have gotten away with it if her fax cover hadn't jammed in the fax machine.
Dad's competitors may have his secret recipe, but Herman has come up with an even better chocolate muffin. And Zoe and I have been appointed official taste testers. Yum!
I agree. These new muffins are really yummy. Looks like that little case of industrial espionage backfired on Lucy the PA.
That's for sure. It just goes to prove that crime doesn't pay, as a mystery prankster is about to discover over at Bonnie and Joff's house.
Oh, right in the middle of our favourite program. Joff's glued to it. I guess I'll have to go. What? No one's here. I've been pranked. Oh well, back to the show. Oh, you're kidding. Huh? What? Pranked again? I bet it's the kids next door. That's it. Okay, Square Eyes. Come on. We're going to find out which kid is up to their usual tricks. I said come on. Let's look for clues. We know the likely culprits are Felix, Paige, or young Alyssa. Let's start looking for their footprints.
Did you know that each of your feet has 19 muscles? It also has 26 bones. Together, both feet contain a quarter of all the bones in your body.
Ah, bingo. Look at that. We need to fit this footprint to the culprit. But how are we going to do it? I know. First, we'll get some of that sticky plastic Mum uses to cover our school books. Lay it carefully over the footprint and smooth it over the print. There. Have we got the print? Yep, perfect. All the dust and dirt has stuck to the plastic, leaving a beautifully preserved footprint. Come on, to the crime lab. We'll lay it down on this piece of black paper. I've heard you can find out how tall someone is by the length of their footprint. There's a magic number you can use. It's 6.7. Let's see. The print is 22.5 centimetres long. All we need to do is multiply that by the magic number. 150.75 centimetres. So our prankster is about 1.5 metres tall. But is it Felix, Paige, or Alyssa? Come on, you take the camera. I've got a plan.
Wow, Bonnie and Joff came up with a brilliant way to get a foot impression. Don't you think my footprint's nice and feminine, quite dainty?
Well, it's certainly a lot smaller than mine.
Good.
Hey, let's measure yours and see how long it is.
Yeah?
Oh,
How am I going?
25.7 centimetres.
That's decent.
Multiply that by Bonnie's magic number 6.7. You should be around 172 centimetres tall.
Yes, that's spot on. Well done, Steve. I'm very impressed by your math skills there. So the magic number is right.
So maybe Bonnie and Joff can use the size of their footprint to find out who the doorbell prankster is.
But I wonder how they're going to do that.
I don't know, but they're pretty clever detectives. They'll think of something.
Joff and I are tracking down the phantom prankster. We've captured their footprint and worked out how tall they must be. Now to find out whose it is. Joff's gonna mark out a height scale on the garden shed, while I go next door and round up our suspects. Okay, guys. Time for a photo shoot. Stand up to your full height. Closer. And give us a smile. And there it is, on the record. At 150 centimetres, the guilty party is Paige.
That sure was a clever way to catch a crim. Bonnie's right about feet. Usually they measure about 15% of your body height. In cases where a bare footprint has been left at a crime scene, the magic number 6.7 can be used to estimate the culprit's height. At 150 centimetres tall, Paige's feet are likely to be around 22 centimetres long, which makes her the phantom prankster.
Peace at last. Not that prankster Paige again. A peace offering. Okay, you're forgiven. Come on. I suppose we can make room for a reformed criminal.
Awesome! Our first game at the school's brand new handball wall. Oh no! The wall's been defaced already. The mystery tiger tagger has struck again. That's it. Jordan and I are going to track down this phantom spray painter and put an end to this willful destruction. Who are the most likely suspects? There's a skater boy called Brandon, the local mischief maker Jake, and Vinny, always skulking around looking suspicious. This is tough. Hey, come on, Jordan. I've had an idea. We're going to track down our tagger using geographical profiling, just like they do on TV. Nobody tags our handball wall and gets away with it.
Did you know the spray can was invented more than 80 years ago by a Norwegian engineer? 20 years later came the paint spray can. And the first colour was aluminium.
We've made a map of the local streets. It's the geographical profiler's most important tool. Here's how we'll track down the tiger tagger. Jordan is going to ride around the streets in this part of town. Everywhere he sees the tiger tagger's print, he'll make a mark on the map. And I'll do the same on the other side of town. Got it? Okay, my fellow detective, get profiling. Right, there's one. I'll mark it on my map. I hope Jordan's having the same luck. Ah, another one. And the tag has left an empty spray can. Another dot. Okay, that's me done. Ah, Jordan's finished too. Let's check out the maps. Whoa, the tiger tagger sure has been busy. And there's a pretty clear pattern. All the tags seem to be along this route, between Railway Parade and the school. All we do now is find out which of our suspects lives near that route. The tiger tagger's days are numbered.
Real detectives use geographic profiling to catch criminals. That's because lots of burglars, for example, break into houses in the same neighbourhoods. And they break in particular ways. This thief most often climbs in windows. But by using clever computer programs, geographic profilers map patterns of where and how break-ins occur. Police can even predict which neighbourhood a thief lives in. This burglar's pattern of break-ins is very predictable. So much so that the computer can predict where he lives with 70% accuracy. Thanks to a geographic profile, it won't be long before police come calling on him. Wow, I hadn't realised how much information can be revealed from a map.
Yeah, and that criminals can leave a telltale pattern without even realising it. It's like Luke and Jordan are secretly tracking this tiger tagger right back to his lair.
Yeah, sure is. These geographic profiling maps are really very impressive. Hey, it's amazing how clear the path becomes once you start plotting where the tagger has struck.
Yeah, you can see it there on the map. You know, clever detective work is all about putting the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle together and coming up with a clear picture of what's going on. So these are kind of like treasure maps.
Yeah. Hey, I can't wait to see who that mysterious tiger tagger is.
Well, Steve, I don't think you'll have to wait long. Our geo-profilers are hot on the trail.
Using geographical profiling, we found a telltale pattern. The tags follow a particular route. All we need to do is work out which suspect is most likely to use that route. So on the suspect list we have Brandon, Jake and Vinny. First up, Brandon. He lives up here, way off the tagger's route. So I think we can eliminate him. And that troublemaker Jake, he lives down here. So, for once, he's in the clear. Which leaves Vinny. He lives here on the map. Right at the end of the tagger's route. And right across from where we're sitting. Check it out. It's that backpack with a matching yellow tag on it. It's proof positive that the tiger tagger is Vinny.
Nice work, boys. By plotting the location of the tags and comparing them to the positions of the three suspects' homes, Luke and Jordan were able to pick Vinny as the most likely vandal. He'd been secretly tagging walls while walking to and from school. The boys' geographical profiling worked a treat, just as it does when solving real crimes. Profilers collect evidence of where a criminal has operated and then look for patterns that often lead them straight to the suspect.
All right. We caught Vinny, and now a handball wall looks as good as new. I think that deserves a high five. Whoops.
Oh, I wouldn't be shaking your hand, but nice painting, guys, and pretty clever detective work too.
You won't be shaking me hand either, Missy. Willful destruction of property doesn't just happen on the streets. Even pirates have their fair share of crimes to solve.
Arr!
We're getting ready for a pirate party. As soon as Coco finds his hook hand, we'll be ready to set sail. Yes! He's found it. Let's do a final check of our costumes. Tattoo? Check. Hook hand? Check. Eye patch? Check. Pirate hat? Oh dear. Coco hasn't got his hat. Well, it's got to be here somewhere. There it is. But it's not looking too good. It's all mangled. I wonder how that happened. I'm going to do some investigating to find out.
Did you know that real pirates are criminals? Committing robbery at sea is an international crime. Penalties for piracy are very severe.
Poor Coco. Who could have reduced his pirate hat to tatters? Maybe it was baby Lucy. She wrecks everything she can get her hands on. Or it could have been our pets Bronny or Benji. Time for this detective to take a closer look at the evidence. Gloves, please. Okay, let's inspect the damage. See this tear? It's got jagged edges. Looks like a bite mark to me. So whatever did this had teeth. Well, Lucy's only got gums. That eliminates her. Time for a closer look. Our hair. It's not Coco's. It's our first piece of evidence. Now, from each of our remaining suspects, we just need a hair to compare it to. Hopefully, we'll find out who's responsible for this crime, canine or feline.
So it's either got to be the cat or the dog.
Yeah, now that baby Lucy's off the hook, they're the only remaining suspects. And a lot of crime solving involves the elimination of suspects.
Plus the very careful collection of evidence. And Stella's done the right thing by looking closely for a clue on this mangled pirate hat. And that's how she found the hair. Well, good job, Stella. It's pretty mangled.
Yeah. And that hair may be the difference between finding the perpetrator and then getting clean away.
Coco's pirate costume was perfect, except for his hat. It was mangled by either Benji the dog or Bronny the cat. And we're hoping that this hair will tell us which one. Okay, the testing lab is ready. Oh, good. Coco's got the evidence. He's plucked a hair from Bronny the cat and one from Benji. Let's check the cat hair first. It's pretty short and really thin. Now let's see the dog's hair. It's longer and much thicker. Now let's compare them with the one we found on Coco's hat. I think we've found a match. Yep, there's no doubt about it. Coco's hat was mangled by Benji the dog.
That's pretty good detective work for a pair of pirates. Hair is very important for solving crimes. Each shaft of hair is made from hard cells that form scales. Under a microscope, you can see the difference between human hair, which is quite smooth, and dog hair, which is rougher. The scales on cat hair are quite jagged and fit into each other. By picking the differences between different types of hair, detectives can solve lots of crimes, including willful destruction of pirate hats.
We solved the mystery, and we found Coco another hat to wear. Presenting the world's first Mexican pirate.
Well, I think Coco makes a pretty good pirate in that hat.
Yeah, a happy ending to a dastardly crime.
And we'll be back solving more crimes when we return next time. Bye.